I'm going to talk about something that is not only dear to my heart, but also essential in our ever-evolving world. The power, the responsibility, the privilege, and the crucial role that we have as writers. Now, one might argue that there are far more important roles that can bring tremendous benefit to the world. There's no arguing of the importance of functions that folks in the roles of doctors, nurses, medical professionals, researchers, scientists, etc. can bring. We need those who grow, cultivate, harvest, produce, and deliver food. Those responsible for the provision of safe and fresh water. The designers, the builders of the places where we live, the roads we travel, and the various means of transportation that, in addition to moving people, can also move the services and supplies we need. We benefit from those whose role is to protect and serve, those who educate and nurture. But what about the dreamers, the artists, the musicians, the storytellers? What about those whose very words and art can move, shape, and inspire the world? Perhaps inspire those who perform those aforementioned critical roles. The world needs you, dear writer, and perhaps now more than ever. Some people need stories to bring them to other places, other realities, other possibilities. Perhaps even fantasies that will allow them a reprieve from the blunt and frightening world they live in. Other people need books they can learn from or gain inspiration for their own endeavors or even their own art. Consider how many times you were inspired to write because of something magnificent that you read, listened to, or watched. If your passion is to write, and if you are struggling right now with trying to be creative in a time when emotions run high and the very foundations of democracy seem as if they're being tortured and tested, I implore you to listen to the whispers of that muse, to engage in a poetic dance with that spirit of creation, and to keep writing. Because the world needs you, and the world needs your writing. Storytelling itself was born out of the innate desire to connect with other humans, to share, inspire, and ultimately forge connections between people. It all started, if you trace it back, to paintings on cave walls and even those human cave dwellers themselves huddled around the protective light and heat of a fire at the end of another long day, sharing oral tales of the remarkable hunt that led to the food that they had just cooked and ingested. Or maybe they relayed the story of how they came to discover the crevice in the rock where everyone was currently seeking shelter. It started off with those rudimentary wall paintings and oral stories passed along person to person, generation to generation. It was a beautifully intimate and magical event because, regardless of whether it was for teaching a skill or entertaining, it was ultimately about connection. But soon, another type of magic began to emerge: the written word. Someone could transcribe the words of the village's storyteller, and that scroll could be handed to someone and brought to another village where it could be read to a new audience. And as technologies emerged, papyrus, scrolls, Gutenberg's printing press, the mass market paperback, pulp fiction magazines, online bookstores, and ebooks, stories could suddenly be shared beyond a single village or heritage line. The same story could be transcribed and shared with multiple other communities around the globe. And with that explosion of a new industry, publishing, there was constantly a need for more and more storytellers and writers and book producers, all the people whose business it was and is ultimately to bring people together. And as accessibility to books has continued to expand, so too do opportunities for writers and storytellers. Now, more writers than ever in the history of publishing have access to easily accessible tools and can build a career in writing without having to wait for the blessing from some anonymous gatekeeper in London or New York. We live in an unprecedented era where access to tools, options, opportunities, and choice has never been greater. As writers, we have an extraordinary amount of control and power to exercise our most precious resources, our creativity, and the intellectual property that springs from it. However, with access to such power comes immense responsibility. In a world that often seems determined to sow divisiveness and conflict, your storytelling and your writing skills have never been more critical or more needed. Books and stories are at their core about connections, and you, the creative scribe, play a fundamental role in helping to create and bridge those connections. Throughout history, stories have been the thread that ties us together. Stories have the power to entertain, to educate, to inspire, and to heal. Through stories, we explore the vast range of human experience and emotion. We find common ground, empathy, and understanding. As writers, you have the unique ability to shape perspectives and influence thought. Your words can challenge the status quo, break down barriers, and foster a greater sense of unity, community, and support. In today's digital age, the reach of your words, your stories, is virtually limitless. With the click of just a few buttons, your writing can be shared globally, touching the lives of people you will most likely never meet. This is both a remarkable opportunity and a profound responsibility. The stories you tell can resonate across cultures and generations, leaving an indelible mark on the world. So, how do we, as writers, navigate this incredible power and responsibility? Here are a few guiding principles to consider. Authenticity. Be true to yourself and your voice. Authentic stories resonate deeply with readers. And readers can sense when a narrative is genuine, and they connect more profoundly with stories that come from an honest place. So write from your heart and let your unique perspective shine through. No, there are no new stories, but there are the stories that are uniquely yours to share. Embrace yourself, your perspective, your experience, and share those stories with passion. Empathy. We know that those who read fiction consistently demonstrate a higher degree of empathy, and the world needs more empathy. Cultivate empathy in your own writing. Seek to understand and portray the experiences of those characters you craft and write about with compassion and sensitivity. This not only enriches your stories, but also fosters greater understanding and connection among your readers. What better way to connect with someone else for them to see a little bit of themselves or someone they know and love in a character? Courage. Don't be afraid to tackle difficult or controversial topics. Don't be shy about sharing your stories, your struggles, your triumphs, your tragedies. Your stories have the potential to inspire deep thought, to spark important conversations, and to drive meaningful change. Approach these topics with courage and integrity, knowing that your words can make a difference. Because your words also subtly tell another person that they are not alone in whatever it is they're facing. And responsibility. Always be mindful of the impact that your stories may have. Avoid perpetuating harmful stereotypes, which can often come from what some writing craft teachers call that low-hanging fruit. Carefully consider the uniqueness of your characters instead of the one-dimensional way they might be painted, but only considered as a member of this or that group, or religion, or culture. Consider the messages in your stories. Do they have the potential to further divide, or are they filled with the possibility of the power that comes from uniting? As you embark on your writing journeys, remember that you are not just wordsmiths. You are ultimately architects of human connection. Your stories have the power to bridge divides, to heal wounds, and inspire the building of a better world. Embrace this responsibility with passion and purpose. In conclusion, I urge you to recognize and embrace the incredible power that you hold. Use your creativity and your voice to make a positive impact on the world. You matter. Your stories matter. You and your stories have the potential to change lives for the better and to shape the future. So go forth, write boldly and with passion, and contribute to a world filled with more empathy, more understanding, and more unity. I look forward to reading the incredible and imaginative worlds that you write and the magnificent other things that your writing inspires in our world. Thank you.